Hey everyone, and thank you for joining our 1-year anniversary video. We are so excited to have this first year behind us at BBTF and to be forging through to year 2. Throughout this first year, we've accumulated team members from all around the world, from Singapore to Australia to the UK, even in the States, from the West Coast to the East Coast. Our team is vast and global. We have some of the most dedicated team members to help us along our journey and building what we believe is a critical and vital part of the future infrastructure of blockchain technology. When we ask the question, who are we and who is Blockbusters Tech? We want to be a cutting-edge software development company, whether that is building softwares that we are deploying ourselves or deploying softwares on behalf of clients. We want to ensure that we are creating the best and the most future-proof softwares that coincides with blockchain technology and its growth. For example, we've created the Mirror Protocol. The Mirror Protocol is our cross-chain utility. It allows us to operate on the theory that we can leverage liquidity and cross-chain liquidity swaps to ensure people have interoperable experiences between multiple blockchains. In developing the Mirror Protocol, there are a couple things that can easily go overlooked if it's not paid attention to. First thing is the way in which the contracts are structured. We have been able to create an ecosystem of contracts that all operate within the same core infrastructure. But secondly, I believe this is a critical advancement in the space to where we were able to create a staking pool that allows you to stake and interact with multiple assets during the process of staking. This is something that has not been implemented anywhere else in DeFi that I can recall, and it's one of the many innovations that we are bringing to the space. While I don't want to go too far into upcoming innovations from the Mirror Protocol, its existence in and of itself is something that we believe is a technological innovation that people in the community are going to love as its developed resources increasingly become a reality. With that being said, the Mirror Protocol's 1-year anniversary is a few months away, and I am really excited about that. The first thing is our liquidity injection operation, or our LIO contract, and our LIOG. It's a mechanism for us to use an external contract that sits as an intermediary between a token and an asset, or a function of an asset. So for example, let's say this bakery shop has been tokenized, and the bakery shop owner on every single transaction needs to have a mechanism to get this transaction into this tokenized asset. So what they will do is take the $10 that they received in exchange for the bread, send the $10 to the liquidity injection operation contract. What that contract will then do is inject the liquidity into the asset. It's a very simple process, and it becomes increasingly complex at scale if people aren't able to simplify and standardize the process. What we wanted to do initially is standardize our process for injecting liquidity, since this is one of the core competencies of our token. With that being said, the liquidity injection operation contract is something to be marveled at, and I believe such a simple innovation will have such a huge impact on our company. Freelancer is a Web3 platform that allows individuals that are seeking opportunities in the Web3 field, as well as companies that are seeking talent in the Web3 field, to match and explore possible job opportunities together. We've developed this platform because of our own experiences in the space, and what we wanted to do is create an exclusive space where we can not only vet the individual skills, but also rely on the referrals of other people who have worked with said individuals in the past. What this does is allows us to create a space where individuals can work with trusted developers who are not necessarily internal to the BBTF organization, but are operating on one of the platforms. We feel as if this is one of the critical steps that is necessary to a safe future in DeFi. Next, let's talk about MyDexBot. Our goal in creating MyDexBot is to create a tool that can essentially leverage trading strategies for individuals absent the individual being there. What this means is that an individual can inform their bot of a trading strategy that they want the bot to implement 24/7, and that programmatic bot will go out and trade on that individual's behalf. What we've realized in this industry is that oftentimes we have individuals that have the know-how and are trading with these bots. And there are individuals who don't have the know-how, but are being taken advantage of and missing critical opportunities. So what we've developed is an easy and intuitive mechanism for even retail traders to benefit from programmatic bots. To arbitrage the WBNB BUSD pair on PancakeSwap, which was trading at $245 per BNB. And I bought 10 of them there and sold 10 of them on Uniswap, which was trading at $265 per pair. That means there is $20 that I made on each pair. So technically that would be $200 that I made in that arbitrage opportunity, and the MyDexBot take-home percentage would be 10% of that, which is $20. Every single transaction that is profitable, MyDexBot collects 10%, in which case we utilize a portion of that is not operations for our liquidity injection operation. This means every single profitable trade on MyDexBot benefits a BBTF holder. In this first year, we've been presented with a few complexities that we had to deal with. Obviously, the first major complexity, we got hacked. Integer underflow attack on our contract. Our contract was audited. They should have found it. The company that built our contract should have never done it. It was a rookie mistake. There was so many things that were overlooked during that process that, we had to take a step back and say, okay, so what are we producing and who do we have producing it? Which is one of the reasons why Freelancers is so important. So now we have a platform to where we can actually validate the people who are touching our contracts before they even touch it. We can, look at, the referrals that they get from other businesses before they touch our contract. We can review their portfolio before they touch our contract. And that's really one of the things that we wanted to take into our experience with us. We kind of found that, in our experience, there are people, the 3 people with 6 accounts who post 5 times a day. Those people, they like to make comments like, oh, these guys were hacked before, and all these comments about our past. But I think that's precisely why other companies want to do business with us. So our token was hacked, and we put $1 million back into the liquidity for it. And this was something that no one else did in the industry before. But this is precisely why we took the strategic approach to launching our project. And given the immediate experience of it may not have been one that was methodically thought of, the ultimate outcome and the reason that we made it to the end of this first year and we're still pushing out innovative things at a rapid pace shows that we took care of our entire business organization as we were developing it. So that's literally just step one. Right after that, immediately after we launched and immediately after we experienced the exploit, everything, things kind of started, returning back to normal. And, the first thing that we thought is, okay, now we can get rolling and get back on the right path that we initially sought out to do. So then the next thing that we found was that, the gas prices for distributing 8 reflections is really freaking expensive. So we need to figure out a way to decrease the gas experience that our holders are having. So that's when Leet had the idea to create an off-chain token reflection experience. And there may be other companies that are doing it. There may be other companies that have an off-chain reflection experience, but there aren't other companies that are doing it at this level. The gas experience per distribution went from, being extremely expensive for a single person to call and, produce their gas to, moderately competitive with any other gas or any other reflective token that are out there. Some of our gas improvements that we've used, we deployed on multiple other contracts that we still see being deployed in this industry because people have looked at our contracts that are verified on the blockchain and copied our code. So it's not something that we are, I guess, kind of overlooking as an advancement, but in the grand scheme of things, like, we tend to overlook that huge accomplishment of, taking our reflections and moving them off chain to create a better gas experience for everyone. Then moving another step forward after, creating that gas experience and improving that. This is when we started looking at developing our other lines of businesses outside of just merely having, the token. So these lines of businesses are our client development services, of which, you see BlockSense, Mahina, throw Crypt in there. There's at least 8 tokens that we've helped work with and ensured the safety of their community. But in that client services, we needed to figure out a way for us to take the liquidity from what they're paying us and add it into our token, but not in a manner that, like, essentially, in my opinion, undermines the purpose of a business, or what did I say in French? The raison d'être, the reason to be. Your purpose for existence, so to speak. So that's why we created the liquidity injection operation contract, is because just adding liquidity to a token does nothing if there is no activity that people can benefit from. So, for example, if I'm excited about entering your project and I'm excited about what your project can do, and if all your project says to me is, hey, thank you for entering the project, let me just make sure that the door is wide enough for you to exit, that project doesn't really get me excited. I would like a project that provides me with an experience before I decide to disembark the train. So that experience is what we deliver with the liquidity injection operation contract. So, for example, what the contract does is, if Johnny pays me $100 for building his smart contract, I will take 50 of that $100 and then go and buy my own token with it. That's an experience that people can experience. They can see me buying that $50 worth. Then I'll take that $50 of my own token that I just purchased and pair it with the $50 that I still have remaining and add it to liquidity. So not only did I give them the experience, but I also made the door wider and stable for individuals to exit if they wanted to. This was important because we needed to find a way to scale our business as we brought in more aggressive external liquidity services. And then, so in terms of the aggressive external liquidity service, there are 2 that are going to be really high volume, really high ticket money makers for us. The first one is Aligner, so there are 3 actually. The first one is Aligner, that's going to be huge. The second one is Mirror Swap, which, for the purpose of this video, I don't want to dive into something that's coming in the future. I just want to talk about what we've done. So I'll leave that conversation for another Mirror Protocol video with Gotti. And then the third thing that we did, which is out probably by now, is my DexBot. My DexBot has the opportunities to generate millions in revenue per day. And the reason why is because, Like, we don't have to be a pancake swap. We don't have to be a Uniswap. We don't have to be a SafeMoon swap. We don't have to be any of the swaps, but we can be present there. We don't have to just be on BSC. We can be on any chain and maintain a presence there. And not only do we have a presence there, the presence is aggressive, and it's happening 24 times a day, and it's happening at the direction of other users. So one of the reasons why YouTube is so big, one of the reasons why Twitter is so big, one of the reasons why Facebook is so big, or Tumblr is so big, is because of what's called user-generated content. And user-generated content is essentially what these guys are monetizing to, like, for their business structure. They're monetizing the content generated by the user. So instead of having user-generated content, we created a platform that has user-generated trading activity. And we, as a company, profit from the individual's trading activity. We just happen to create a mechanism to make it faster and more frequent. And so taking the revenue from that trading activity and injecting it into BBTF, in my opinion, is going to make us one of the strongest tokens on Binance and probably in DeFi. Just because that's only one of the utility that's tied to this token success. Additionally, like, it's not just a consumer bot. You know, like, tokens want to list on multiple exchanges, say SafeMoon and PancakeSwap. They want to be on multiple blockchains. Well, like, you're going to have cross-chain arbitrage. You're going to have, you know, like, arbitrage between multiple pools. Like, the bot's going to have to do things for companies too. So instead of companies utilizing other services for this, like, we're creating like a token central or token control dashboard, you know, with the utilities that we're bringing as well. So that's my DexBot, and that's why my DexBot, in my opinion, will be one of the best things that we've completed in year one of our business. And then so that conversation started with me explaining how we went from LIO and the purpose of LIO. But moving forward, another thing that we've done, and this is one of the biggest things that I'm excited to talk about, is develop our BBTF V2 component of our contract. And this V2 is extremely important because the reason why we've done it, the reason why we created the V2 is precisely because of the experience that we've had in this space. I'm not aware of many other teams that are able to take the data from the day one of their token being traded and analyze the data from day one to day 365 of their first year and create and augment the way in which their token functions to make it better for DeFi and better for their users. Everything before the first trade happens on a token is largely theoretical. Everything that happens after, if it stays the same, is at the fault of the directors for not making it better. It is my opinion that as the CEO of a project or of a token, your obligation is to ensure that the experience not only increasingly gets better, but provides the user experience that was initially articulated. So what's different with BBTF V2? The first thing that's different with BBTF V2 is the fact that the fee on transactions is reduced. Our fee on each transaction was at 16%. It is now 10%. The reason for the reduction in the fee is so that our token can exist more places than just one. The second thing that's different is the add liquidity mechanism is no longer through the add liquidity ETH contract call. We're now utilizing our LIO and LIOG contract to do this. Moreover, we're adding to staking on both buys and sells. And finally, we have revamped the infrastructure contract. It has been a memorable first year, and I would like to say thank you all for joining us for our 1-year anniversary.
Yo, Tom, what up? Yo, you know you're gonna get funny hard for this shit, right? What up, Safe Moon Army, BBTF, Dawn Bailey, let's go.
Tokenize the future, make it vibrant, distinct. Annihilating flutters to the silent extinct. The Safe Moon Army is a unit in sync. Connected around the world, now that's a hyperlink. It's the architect, baby. My blueprint is DeFi, not AI, not sci-fi. Connections like on Wi-Fi, reflections like a ricochet. And a ricochet off a ricochet, with words flowing like water, Bobby Boucher. Off the chain, busting blocks, decentralized computers, steady building out solutions that can tokenize the future. Always harvesting ideas that I hear in Twitter spaces in a 30-second area. Speculating, very patient and very focused, cause in DeFi when time pass I barely even notice. Hocus pocus with this blockchain magic, other tokens don't compare, they don't got the same tactics,
They don't have the same vision.
they ain't got the same mission. I'm not claiming that we better, I'm just claiming that we different.
It's a global revolution.
In your local institutions, come and see it for yourself. BBTF.
Tokenize the future, make it vibrant, distinct. Annihilating fighters till they silent, extinct. The Safe Moon Army is a unit in sync. Connected round the world, now that's a hyperlink. Yo, party in Vegas, shorty blowing on the dice. When I step up in the club, yeah, you know I look nice. These fighters come hard, but they just in denial. I don't see no yellow checks in your crypto's Twitter bio. Ayy, don't even look in my direction. Flexing on this Web3 space, you know Coroni's so connected. Complete the mission, product deliveries imminent. Changes in the market, shit, we just pivot. So give it time to get to the top, but we not gon' stop to this chain. Number one on the block, give me that digital gold backed by physical assets. Grows the gold standard like 24 carats. Affiliated, hit the dashboard, get your blockbuster tech mirror protocol, stake it. The space can be ruthless, scam selling useless. Tokens to your fruitless, gotta knock them out toothless. So keep running, regulations coming. No place that you can really hide if you rugged the SEC. Think they just trying to protect us while the retail investors scream, fuck Gary Gensler. Tokenize the future, make it vibrant, distinct. Annihilating fighters till they silent, extinct. The Safe Moon Army is a unit in sync. Connected round the world, now that's a hyperlink.